Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and we are getting near the end of Year 9. Today we are checking out Metroid Prime. It is one of the last games we'll be playing for Year 9, and it is like our 898th game. Do I have the number correct? I don't know. Sometimes I put these videos up in a slightly different order, so probably 898 or close to it. In any case, ending Year 9 with a banger. The 1001 book, we've encountered this. It sometimes has questionable choices. You know, let's just call it what it is, questionable choices. So not every game in that book I would say is a smash hit. Not even a hidden gem. Not even an influential or important gem. I don't know. For some picks, you're just like, what? Why was this game picked? Who wrote this book, right? So what I usually try and do is near the very end of a year and very beginning, I try to stack it with some like real good ones. And it's not that I put, I try and fill like a lot of bad ones in between or something. I mean, sometimes I don't know what's going to be good or bad because I've never tried a game. And for the most part, I'd say things skew on the good side, obviously. I mean, you would hope so in a book of 1001 games you must play before you die. They tend to be more good than bad. And I think they tend to be. But I do try and like disperse notable games and stuff throughout the year. But I try and cap off every year with like a handful of like really, iconic and or good and or fun games and or games that just I want to play. So we got Metroid Prime. This is a game that I've never played. I never had a GameCube or an N64. I was really off of Nintendo when it went into the 3D era. Like, I'm thinking about it now, and like, yeah, like I left Nintendo when they went 3D. Like, I was a diehard NES fan. I was a diehard SNES fan, like Super Nintendo, Nintendo. Those were my systems. To this day, I still think they might be, like, in my mind when I think of video game. I don't think of this. I think of a Nintendo game. If you say video game to me in the abstract, I'm thinking pixel art 2D. So when Nintendo went 3D, for me it was jarring. It was like coming home to your wife and all of a sudden she's, really into punk. And before that it was classical. Like a total personality switch. And hold L to lock on. Okay. Wait, that is not the right lock on. Hold L. I'm not 100% sure what button I have mapped down. Oh, L! Okay, it's gonna sound stupid. I was hitting the right bumper. Guys, I swear I'm smart. I know you don't believe me, but it's likely true. Okay, I guess you can't strafe, eh? The next set of force field controls are offline. Scan the central pillar. Alright, here it is. Scan visor. Okay. Oops. Scan. They appear as orange targets. How do I actually scan? What buttons scan? Press left to scan. Oh, there we go. Okay, so left bumper is going to be key for me. Anyway, I never really played any of the 3D Nintendo systems. It just wasn't really my thing. I was more into the 2D Nintendo stuff. That's like, where it's truly where my heart still is. Like, I do have a Nintendo Switch, but like my favorite game on the Switch is Mario Wonder. Like it's use while pressing R to shoot higher targets. Okay. Oh god. I will say I'm not crazy about the Super Metroid or the Metroid Prime controls here. I know Metroid Prime is like a beloved game, like people really enjoy it and stuff. But coming from like a Halo background, I really find the fact that I can't use a dual analog stick is like very clunky to me. And like it plays like I would say like Halo and like Gears of War, and like all the ones that came after it, The Division, Remnant, many others that are more popular, Call of Duty, all that. Those are, I would say, real first-person shooters. I would say Metroid Prime here, yes, you shoot, and it is from the first person, but I wouldn't quite rank it a first-person shooter. It's more like an action-adventure game, if that makes sense. And that's sort of my own take on it. Like, it doesn't feel like it has the traditional hallmarks of a first-person shooter. It feels more like you're kind of on these interesting adventures, and you've got puzzles to solve and stuff. Like, you never enter a huge firefight, and you have to, like, reload and swap weapons, and, you know, sort of the shooter part is just not necessarily, there. Door cannot be opened until airlock is repressurized. Use the activation panel to repressurize the room. Where is the activation panel? Over here? Right here? Right, like we're doing a lot more puzzle solving than you would do in a normal first-person shooter even right now. Which is fine. You know, it's not every game has to be Halo. But it's just... I guess when I start playing a game like Metroid Prime, I assume if the look of it makes it look like it's a first-person shooter, so I just assume it's going to control like one, and it doesn't quite. Especially like Halo and stuff does not have a lock on, whereas this I feel like kind of depends on it for accurate shooting. So different style of game, and that's good. That's fine. But anyway, yeah, I never played Metroid Prime when it came out. Everyone always talked about it, but I never really played it. On the channel, we have played some of its sequels. And they've been decent, but again, I think in every single one, I eventually just got stuck with a puzzle, and that was the end of the video, so, you know, again, going to the a little different than a normal shooter. But anyway, I'm hoping to have fun with this one. Metroid is a series where I had Metroid, the first Metroid on NES I had, and, oh, this is fun, like a Mega Man charge. Kaboom! Kaboom! Oh, it worked. I had Metroid 1 on the NES, and I always liked playing it and stuff. I've talked about this on other channels. I had no idea what I was doing. And I don't know if you guys have played Metroid 1, the original, but it has some very, very cryptic moments where it's like, in order to go on, it's basically like you have to find a secret in order to go on to the next part. Like, it's just not possible to go on unless you find, like, some kind of weird hidden brick in a place that no one would ever think to bomb, and then you go into a room that has something like essential. So it's one of those games, it's almost like Milon's Secret Castle, only a little less cryptic than that, where it's like secrets are like required. Whereas in a lot of other games, like, secrets are bonuses. Like, I think there is, okay, spoilers, but one of our next videos we're going to be playing the Lost Levels of Mario. But there is like that is considered to be a very hard game, and I think there is one level or one part, Morph Ball. Press X. There we go. Oh God, getting electrocuted to death. There is like one level in that where it's like you actually do need to do a secret in order to pass a stage. Oh my God, it's a giant Metroid. And that is considered like pretty challenging. But I feel like Metroid, it was like non-stop secrets were required. So as a kid, it was just so complicated. I just never made it very far. I had a few passwords or something from like, you know, friends, older brothers or whatever who had like beaten the game or gotten very far, and they had all these upgrades and stuff like the freeze ray and oh God, fire missiles. Oh God. Boom, boom. Alright. Got missiles, morph balls. Look at that. I'm a ball. In ball form. More Metroids. What is happening? The fact that you can't strafe means you're tactical. I mean, you can strafe once you've locked on, but I want that second thumbstick. I'm moving it. Hear it? It's not doing anything. So So yeah, I really love Metroid. I would always, excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning so much this morning. I would always see like Super Metroid advertised on TV, and like Metroid for the Game Boy advertised, the original Game Boy. And I was always curious, especially Metroid on the Super Nintendo looked really cool. But I just, my parents never bought it for me. And it's like there are some games that I would like ask my parents for, but then there were others that like I would have loved, but I like didn't know that I should be asking for them. And like I just didn't bother asking, and so I never got them. Like, for instance, I never had Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, which now, like, actually I didn't know about that one because at the Ontario Place in Canada, it was this like, it had like Legoland and a few other things. It had like a Nintendo pavilion where it was just a bunch of like Nintendo systems hooked up to TVs like you used to get at like department stores. And you could just play like any Nintendo game they happen to have hooked up. And I always remember gravitating towards the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, or Link to the Past. Link's Awakening was the Link I would eventually get and own. It was the only Link game I ever had. But I played Link's Adventure at a friend's house, and I really loved that. Even though it's like the black sheep and nobody really quite likes that. It was the only... I never played the original Zelda. Never ever played it. So it's like my introduction to Zelda was Link's Adventure, and I really did like it. I thought it was fun and interesting. It was cool. It was fun to find items. Then Link to the Past, I was just like, man, what is this? This game is awesome. And I really did want that game. But for whatever reason, I guess I never asked for it hard enough. I never actually got it. But then when I got a Game Boy, I was like, I must have Link's Awakening. Please. And it was, I think, the game they got for me with the system. And so my life was complete at that point. I had a Zelda game. It was awesome. But anyway, Metroid was a game that I always knew about. Because having played the first one, I think honestly the first one maybe turned me off of the series a bit because it is so cryptic and like, you know, just a little confusing as to like what is going on. But I did play some of it for the channel a couple of years ago now, and actually I feel like it is quite a good game. I mean, duh, obviously. Okay. Supposed to do something here. Hold on, let's pay attention to these messages. I'm only like half paying attention when I find these things. So let me see here. This is saying space pirate. Oh, I'm just scanning a space pirate. Okay, so what does this say? Morphology of a space pirate. Can I move this up and down? Oh, here we go. Okay, scanning this. Device does not seem to be functional. There must be something nearby that will turn it on. Something that will turn me on nearby. Okay, that's weird. This door is tightly sealed. Does not appear to be receiving power. I'll give you some power. Door lock enabled. Please insert metallic sphere to open door. I'll insert a metallic sphere. Right here? Hold on. This is very puzzly. It wants a metallic sphere inserted. Wait, where does it want the sphere? Where's this? Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Alright. So hold on. Scan. You get out of scan mode. Can I just my way in? No. See what I mean? This is not a first-person shooter, despite appearances. This is a puzzle game, or an adventure game, like however you want to classify it. It's definitely more adventure-y. That's why I think they. Look, they want me to be a sphere, which is why I think they had different controls than a typical first-person shooter. Maybe it's good they don't have traditional first-person shooter controls, otherwise people would assume it's a shooter and they'd want to play it differently. A lot of scanning going on, though. Oh! Get out of scan mode, lock on. I so wish I could strafe. I just feel like I stand in a room like an idiot and take damage. Strafing is like an essential part of any shooter game. Like if you can't strafe, like this, I'm trying all the buttons. It's crazy. Crazy. The only possibility is maybe if I've got something set up wrong on my controller here. Insert metallic sphere. Alright. Good thing she happens to be able to curl up into a ball the exact proper size to open these doors. Like, ah yes, a random sphere. Alright, I'll open. I will open for this sphere. So I gotta check something in my recording here. Just making sure it's going. There's nothing worse than like recording a 1 hour episode and you get to the end and you're like the bloody thing. I forgot to hit record! Doesn't happen too much to me these days, but it has happened in the past, so I'm like scarred. I always gotta like periodically peek over at that monitoring stuff, make sure it's doing okay. Do I have to do this every time I want this door opened? Can't it just assume there's a sphere until further notice? Alright, here we go. So we've played so many Metroid, I mean, not so many, but we've played like, let's see, I think we played the original Metroid, I think we played Super Metroid, I think we played Metroid on the Game Boy, we played a couple of Metroid Primes. I honestly think I've like run out of generic things to say about Metroid at this point because we played so many Metroids. You know what? I feel like there's more Metroid games in this 1001 book than there are Mario games. Oh, hold on. If I lock on, oh, you can dodge. Okay. See, when you lock on, now it plays more like a shooter. The Parasite Queen. I am locked on, believe it or not, even though I'm not shooting her in the head. Scan this enemy to find the weak spot. Ow. I bet you it's the head. Oh, God. Stop doing that. Scanning. Activating. New creature entry has been downloaded to your log. Parasite Queen. Oh, I didn't even get to see. I let go of the button. Alright. Oh, you know what? Now Samus is locking onto the head. No offense, Samus. You may be some, like, crazy pirate hunting, you know, genius. But I could have told you with absolutely no scan that you were supposed to shoot this thing in the head. It's basic gunplay 101. You shoot the enemy in the head. You don't shoot them in the belly. They're soft underbelly. Come on, get a bullet through. Yeah, oh, I was getting bullets through that, like, spinning shield. I'm impressed for me. Okay, that was a fun little introductory fight. Gets you going. I am kind of curious when we encounter more bad guys, what the combat's gonna end up being like. Evacuate. Critical area. Jump. Jump. Figured out how to jump on my own. Oh shoot, we only have like 6 minutes to actually get out of here. Scan. Access to deck beta approved. Please step into the hologram. I don't hate the scanning, but I do feel like the scanning kind of slows stuff down a bit. I wish you didn't have to go into scan mode and could just like press the A button or something, you know, like it's just an extra step. A little tedious. Oh, here, let's lock on. Oh my god. Wait, were they fighting the Metroid? I feel like as a kid, I never understood what a Metroid was. I thought it was Samus. I thought she was the Metroid. A lot of early Nintendo games had very confusing titles. Because it's like think about Contra. I don't know if the Contra was the good guys or the bad guys, or I was the Contra. No real sense of that. Oh, more bad guys. Man, he can take bullets. Let's see if he can take a charge to the face. He cannot. Down he goes. Alright. Play it like it's a shooter. Boom. Yeah. Lock on. You lock on. So when a bad guy dies you're locked onto, it like unlocks. You have to like re-lock on to the next guy. If they're gonna have a lock-on feature, I wish they would just continually snap to the next guy. But let's be a ball for this part. Woohoo! Oh, probably want to go in here. Oh, I can't get in there and ball for him. Oh god! Can't see anything. Scan. Wait, nothing. Wait, did I go in the wrong spot? Uh-oh. Well, now I'm lost. Oh no, this is terrible. Okay, hold on, scan. Oh no, I scanned a little creature. I don't care about that. Where do I go to live? Okay, now it opens. I don't know what that was about. Oh, get out of my way. I like how the most deadly thing about those enemies is they obscure your vision when they die on you. It's like worse than a bee. At least a bee stings you. At least it causes immeasurable pain. Bees suck. I know we're supposed to like be kind to bees because we need them for honey and stuff, but when you encounter a bee one-on-one, if it's going to sting you, you're not thinking about like the preciousness of flowers or honey. You're thinking of it's going to hurt. And therefore bees suck. But like if you don't have to personally have any encounters with a bee, then a bee can be alright. Right? This is a long series of tubes we're having to run through to get out of here. Ah, gross bugs! Oh, they've obscured my vision. They've momentarily obscured my vision. I wonder if this game, if the visuals of this game, because they have like those doors that you have to like, remember in Metroid, in the original Nintendo Metroid, they were like blue doors. You'd shoot them and they go whoop, and then you could like go in. So that's what these round doors are. They're like the 3D implementation of that. I wonder if, when the original design... Oh god, what happened? Am I dead? I know, there's just an annoying piston here to inconvenience me. When the original designer of Metroid built those blue doors, I wonder if like this that we're seeing right now is what he had in mind. Like, is this... I wonder if the guy who made Metroid is like, one day I'll make like a 3D game and we'll have space pirates and this. Like, how much of this currently is like what they originally envisioned, I wonder? Versus how much is like stuff they added on post-hoc. Okay, another Metroid demon. I think if you played the Super Nintendo Metroid, all the stuff would be like, whoa, it's boss 3! You know what I mean? It's like creatures you've seen before. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, it's a pterodactyl. Like, I don't know. Grapple, use left. Oh, and do it again. Whee! That was fun. I like that mechanic. Okay, scan. Oh, we only have 2 minutes left. Perimeter defense turret disables. Okay. Now what? And we scan this thing. Access to Alpha Deck approved. Step into the hologram. I like... Oh, or get sucked in. I like how they don't actually physically... They don't want to sully their hands by pressing a button. They're like, just make a hologram for me to step into, for God's sakes. What is this? The Middle Ages? Morph ball malfunction. Missile malfunction. Charge beam malfunction. Grapple beam malfunction. You took all my powers! I feel like this is pretty standard in video games to start you off like overpowered, where like you have everything. and then like something happens and it's like you lose all your abilities and you have to like get them back one by one and gradually become powerful again. Standard video game trope. It's how you lure the player in with like, look at all the cool things you can do. And then you don't want them to get bored. They're like, oh yeah, but you can't do most of these things for now, you know, like maybe in like 4 hours, but not right now. So we're back to being weak. Gonna have to get her butt repaired. She wants to use all those awesome abilities. But we did live. Oh, look at her! Not only did she lose her powers, but her suit looks crappier. Like she lost her shoulders and stuff. I guess as you upgrade, as you get more abilities, your suit probably like rebuilds and starts to look cooler and have neat stuff again. Whoop. Right into the spaceship and off she goes. To adventure, chasing a pterodactyl to Dune. Or could be Mars, but probably the surface of Dune. Because I don't know anything about the mythos of Metroid, so that's what I would assume. I think it's Phobos. No, wait, is that Doom? Not Dune, but Doom. Phobos? I don't know. I don't know anything, guys. Just a guy who rotted his brain on video games, so. Judge not, lest ye be judged. How much random video game mythos could you spout? That's kind of cool, actually, that we're now going to go down to a forest planet. We got to start on a space station, and we get a whole new, different environment. Kind of cool. The Talon Overworld. Alright, I was way off. Cool ship, though, with the directional jets or whatever. Samus is a boss, man. Even though she lost like 99% of her abilities, she's still here, like, doing it. She's like, I'm not letting a Metroid escape on my watch, okay? Like, it's not happening. Alright, let's see a little bit of what this world has to offer, because I'm curious, but I don't know how much further we will go in this one here. Oh god, oh wait, I gotta lock on. There we go. What are those things? Can I jump on these? If I can. So I will say, so here's my general comment of Metroid Prime. I think it seems like an interesting adventure game. It's an interesting, I think back in the day, if I had grown up on like the Super Nintendo version and stuff of Metroid, seeing this for the first time, I would have been like, whoa, like that is quite cool. Oh god. I personally have always found platforming in 3D games to be atrocious, like when you have to jump on platforms. So I think the reason I like things like Halo and stuff is like, yeah, they're first-person shooters, but it's like, you don't have to do much platforming, you know, like it's quite basic for that. But Nintendo, like, it grew up on platforming. The whole company, like, you know, Mario and like basically every big Nintendo game was a platformer. So I feel like they couldn't let it go. And so they did a lot of 3D platforming. And I feel like that's why I might not be the biggest fan of the 3D Nintendo games. And even like 3D platformers like Jak and Dax and other things. I just find 3D platforming imprecise and more difficult. I think 2D is where platforming is truthfully optimal. You know, like look at games like Celeste and stuff, right? Like you can get crazy like parkour stuff going on, or like even Mario with like the wall jumping and stuff these days. Like Mario Wonder, you know, you can see people do some amazing speed runs. Compare that to any 3D Mario, it's like they do the speed runs, but it's just the platforming is just different. Anyway, where was I going with all this? Oh yeah, so because this game is in 3D, I would be happier with less platforming. But if you're gonna have the platforming, even that isn't the kiss of death. What I will say is my big major sort of issue with the controls of this game are the fact that it doesn't have dual analog sticks. Like, I can't look up and down easily. Like, I can't even look down to look at, like, where I'm standing, you know? Like, I wish that this game had dual analog sticks because without it, I feel a little crippled. My vision is very stuck. I can't really aim at enemies as elegantly as I would like. So, you know, beyond that though, you know, again, because I would say this game is not a first-person shooter, in my opinion. It has first-person viewpoints, and you do shoot, but it is more of like an action game, you know, like side-by-side screen comparison. This and Call of Duty, this is like nothing like Call of Duty. The enemies are very like slow, and you just lock onto them and stuff, and it has its own charm and interest in killing them. But yeah, so as far as like a 3D implementation of Metroid, it's good. Yeah, I don't know. As I say, like, I'm not personally the best person to weigh in on this, because for me, when I showed up and Nintendo went punk, you know, when my wife was punk, Nintendo went 3D. I just sort of realized we'd grown apart. And I did play a lot of 3D games, but I went more to like the PlayStation and Xbox for that. The Nintendo 3D games just were like, you know, not ones I grew up on. So as like a puzzle, you know, sci-fi style game, even so far I'm like kind of interested. The Seismic Ruins, kind of interesting. There's interesting stuff going on, interesting world. I could definitely see, you know, why people enjoy this game. I mean, it's the same reason they enjoyed the original Metroid. Lots to explore, and it's fun, and you know, the shooting parts, probably beyond the boss elements, are like pretty manageable. Like they're simple, right? Like in Metroid, in the first Metroid, you know, when you encountered like bugs and stuff, yeah, they walk towards you slowly, but it's like that's about the complexity of like what you were encountering. Not like, you know, you're playing like through a firefight or something in other games. So seems like a decent enough game. And I don't even necessarily know that I like it any more or less than the original Metroid, the 2D ones. I guess maybe the Super Nintendo one. Like if I'm thinking about all the Metroid games, probably the Super Nintendo one has me the most curious, but I was never the biggest like Metroid dude. And also, I never beat the original Metroid till I was an adult. Never got around to it. So. Anyway, that's my long, winding, confusing, inconclusive, random thoughts on the Metroid series. What do you guys think about Metroid Prime here? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'm very curious about what you guys think about the controls. Because, again, I've stated my opinion on the controls, but for instance, I have opinions about the GoldenEye controls. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the GoldenEye controls. I don't think they hold up particularly well. But there's lots of people who grew up on GoldenEye who loved it. And, like, I don't even think it's just looking back, the GoldenEye controls I didn't really think were all that good, but back in the day when everyone was playing N64, I've talked about this before, all my friends were playing N64, they're like, oh man, GoldenEye, come over, we're having a GoldenEye party. I'm like, let's play Quake. You know, let's no offense, but let's play a game that has real controls. Because, like, the GoldenEye controls I just found so stiff and primitive and, like, clunky. But, you know, a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people love GoldenEye. I have so many fond memories and go back to the controls. They're like, they're not that bad, actually. So, I may be being too picky or something here, but yeah, anyway. What do you guys think? Maybe you have your own long, inconclusive, rambling, incoherent views on this game. If so, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. Thank you for joining me on this quest to try all the games in the book, 1,000 Video Games Just Play Before You Die. I feel like I'm in an Indiana Jones temple, too. Can I just say that? Like, if I step on here, I'll have to remember the word of God. But Jehovah starts with an I. I'm gonna fall in a giant pit there. But yes, 9 years of this 1001 thing. What a journey it has been. I'll talk more about that in the coming videos, because we'll be heading episode 900, which is the end of year 9, and episode 901, which is the start of year 10. If that sounds confusing, if you think episode 900 should actually be the start of year 10, that should be the rollover. Think about it for a second, you'll figure it out. But anyway, it's I'm sure I've got my math right on this. Doesn't matter anyway, guys. we will be continuing to play another 100 or so games. So make sure you tune back in for that. And in the meantime, you guys all take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Alrighty, guys. Peace. I have no idea what's happening. I just stepped into this room for a second and something ate a missile. And now there's goo everywhere. Like I have to beat a boss. We somehow made it to another boss fight. Boom. Okay, hold on. Where'd that guy go? I hear him. I don't see. Oh, he's on my radar. Pay attention to that. Boom, 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 boom. More guys. So this is a boss fight, eh? I like how they're just their whole thing is to like twirl around me and then kind of do nothing. Again, so different. Like, you know, a recent first-person shooter that I've been playing. I haven't played too much super recently, but one of the more recent ones that came out that I really like is Remnant 2. And compare this boss fight to a boss fight in Remnant 2, and you will know what I mean when I say, I don't think this is really a first-person shooter. Or at least not one of the more hardcore ones. We could call it a casual first-person shooter, maybe. Like a relaxing one. Because, like, this is their big move against me. It's, not too intimidating, let me tell you. And we did it. Be gone, goo. I need a missile. Huh. Yes. Oh, the power. Yes. Missile launcher acquired. Press Y to fire a missile, switch back to beams. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, okay, I'm signing off for real now, but, you know. There we go. Alright, I'm signing off for real. Oh, what is this? Energy tank acquired. Maximum energy capacity increased by 100. Yes. Okay, I am signing off for reals now. Alright, guys, it's been fun. See you later.